Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey kiddos, welcome to class. Come on in. Bring your books, sit down. This is what usually we call it the Bible Bistro. Today we're going to call it the Bible Classroom because verse 11 started us off yesterday. We've got to be in class. Come, children, listen to me, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord. That's what the psalmist said in verse 11, and we've been following along now ever since. Yesterday through verse 14, flee from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. This is Daily Dose Radio, where we're seeking peace, and we're pursuing it. We're chasing after it with all our heart, and that peace is found in the Lord Jesus Christ. Hey, listen, if you're here for 5-minute Bible study, you've come to the right place, because this is it. And today we're going to have a pop quiz. Are you ready? We started off yesterday in the classroom, and he said he was going to teach us the fear of the Lord, and then he gave us 2 lessons. You remember what they were? Keep your tongue from evil, your lips from speaking treachery. That's number 1. Number 2, flee from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it. So instead of fleeing from evil, I'm pursuing peace. So I'm running away from evil, but I'm running after peace. Those are the 2 lessons. What you do with your mouth, what you do with your feet. Now we come to verse 15. Let me read 15 through 18 today. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears to their cry. The face of the Lord is against the deeds of the evil man, to cut off their seed from the earth. They cry out, and the Lord hears, and from all their troubles he delivers them. The Lord draws near to those of a broken heart, and those of a crushed spirit he will save. That's verses 15 through 18. Did I say this is Psalm 34? This is Psalm 34. We're studying Psalm 34 all week. So that's verses 15 through 18 in Psalm 34. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous. Listen, children, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord. This is a part of that lesson, because if we understand that the eyes of the Lord are upon us, let me ask you how that might change your behavior. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, his ears to their cry. Seeking the Lord, calling out to the Lord, ladies and gentlemen, is all a part of this lesson in fearing the Lord. So come, children, listen to me, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord continues in verse 15. Now let's look at 16. The face of the Lord is against the deeds of the evil man, to cut off their seed from the earth. This, too, is a lesson in fearing the Lord, because there are consequences for evil. The Lord does not countenance the evil man. He does not. Well, what does he do? He's going to cut his seed off from the earth. And then we have this curious statement here in verse 17. They cry out. We need to know who the antecedent is here, right? Well, we're talking about the evil man whose seed's going to be cut off from the earth? Or are we talking about the righteous man in verse 15? Verse 16 was the evil man. Verse 15 is the righteous man. Are we talking about the righteous man? Those are the only 2 options that we have here in verse 17. For an antecedent, it's either the righteous man or it's the evil man. Now, a lot of translations are going to have the righteous. I know the King James does. It will say, the righteous cry out. The word righteous is not here in verse 17. It just says they cry out. And anticipating, perhaps suggesting that there's an antecedent to that they, but we have to ask ourselves, which is it, the righteous man or the evil man? So the King James hedges on the side of the righteous man. I would like to suggest it's both. It's both the righteous man and the evil man. Because what happens if the evil man hears the lesson of fearing the Lord and he cries out to the Lord? Is the Lord going to ignore him? No, the Lord's going to hear him. If he humbles himself and seeks the Lord, and from all their troubles he delivers them. If the evil man calls upon the Lord, don't you think he's got some troubles to be delivered from? Oh, yeah, he does. Verse 18, and we've seen some of those troubles in previous verses. Verse 18, the Lord draws near to those of a broken heart. What if the evil man bows his heart before the Lord? Well, the Lord draws near to him. And those of a crushed spirit he will save. That might be you today. Listen, call upon the Lord and join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 19 through 22 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.